She didn't beg for fame, she didn't chase attention, she didn't play the industry's game. Yet, when Yasmeen Ghauri stepped on the runway, fashion had no choice but to bow. Her work was so powerful, her face unforgettable, but it wasn't beauty alone that made her legendary, it was the way she carried herself. While other models were treated as disposable, Yasmeen demanded respect. And just when the world thought she was unstoppable, she vanished. Not because the industry broke her, but because she chose something greater than fame, a life on her own terms. This is not just a story of a supermodel, this is the story of the woman who made the runway respect her. Yasmeen Ghauri was born in Montreal 1971, the daughter of a German mother and a Pakistani father. In school, she didn't fit in, her features were too sharp, too dark, too different from the Western beauty standards of the time. But sometimes the very thing that makes you an outcast becomes the very thing that makes you unforgettable. Because one day, the fashion world would look at Yasmeen and see not an outsider, but the future. Yasmeen wasn't chasing modeling, she wasn't chasing fame. She was discovered working in a McDonald's in Montreal. At first, she hesitated. Her father, doubly traditional, didn't approve of modeling. But Yasmeen stepped into the industry anyway, not with desperation, but with quiet confidence. And when she finally walked her first runway, she didn't just walk, she commanded. It wasn't the fragile walk of a girl trying to be liked. It was the stride of a woman who knew her worth. By the late 1980s, Yasmeen was being balked by fashion biggest names: Chanel, Christian Dior, Valentino, Versace. Her walk became iconic, strong, graceful, and hypnotic. She wasn't loud, she wasn't scandalous, but she had presence. When Yasmeen entered, people stopped talking. The runway wasn't hers to borrow, it was hers to own. She became the face of Gucci, Hermes, and Victoria's Secret, covers of Vogue, high fashion campaigns. She had everything: fame, money, and recognition. But unlike the others, Yasmeen wasn't addicted to it. The fashion industry had rules, especially for women. Be young, be quiet, be obedient. Play the game, follow the man in charge. But Yasmeen broke them all. Backstage, she did her own makeup, not as rebellion but as independence. She avoided scandals, she didn't let her name be attached to tabloid drama, and most importantly, she refused to be controlled by men. When so many supermodels were treated as replaceable, Yasmeen became untouchable because she understood something the industry didn't want a woman to know. Her value didn't come from fame, it came from self-respect. Hollywood and fashion were cruel to women. Karen Mulder was crushed by the system, Megan Fox was mocked and silenced. Countless women were treated like disposable dolls, controlled by male producers, designers, and managers. But Yasmeen, no one ruled her, because she never gave the industry that power. She didn't need to cling to fame. She didn't need to sell her soul for relevance. She was the supermodel who knew her worth, and that made her untouchable. Why did the runway respect Yasmeen Ghauri? Because respect is never given freely in an industry built to exploit. It is taken. It is demanded. Yasmeen didn't beg for attention, she didn't need approval, and that's what made her magnetic. In psychology, this is called self-possession, the ability to carry yourself as if you already know your value. People sense it. They cannot look away. Yasmeen wasn't just modeling clothes, she was modeling power. And then at her peak, Yasmeen disappeared. No scandal, no downfall, no distraction. She simply chose to walk away. She left fashion, married, and lived quietly with her family. While others burned out, overdosed, or were crushed by the industry, Yasmeen escaped it. Not because she was weak, but because she was strong enough to let it go. Her vanishing act was her final statement. Fame is not freedom, and Yasmeen Ghauri valued freedom more than fame. Today, Yasmeen Ghauri lives far from the spotlight, but her story is more relevant than ever. Because in a world obsessed with followers, clicks, and attention, Yasmeen proved that walking away is not failure, it's power. She showed that beauty is not just about admiration, it's about commanding respect. She showed that success is not about being everywhere, it's about being unforgettable. And she showed that sometimes the bravest choice a woman can make is to choose herself. Yasmeen Ghauri didn't just walk the runway, she made it respect her. And in doing so, she became more than a model. She became a symbol of dignity, power, and independence. The world remember her face, but what makes her unforgettable is the way she walked away.